to create engaging and valuable content for your audience. Often it's a function of knowledge and skills. People do not know what content will be valuable, but if you are looking at it, you will start to figure out the gaps. You will start to learn. Okay. Now, but the problem here is that people struggle with the idea, why should I create content? How is it going to get me clients? And they never get down to actually doing it because they can't see this way that if I write 2 articles, will I get 2 clients? No. Then how do I know whether I will get clients? And they leave it. Now I'm going to explain how this matters. Okay. So if your content is good, I'll tell you how a client interacts with you. Okay, somebody finds a post on your LinkedIn account, they will write to you. If they see an email, they may also send you an email. Okay, if they come across an article published by you, let's say on Bloomberg, while researching on an issue on Google, let's say an article you published on Bloomberg Quint, let's say, crops up, they will click on that, see that you wrote it, come to your website. Okay, they will click on the disclaimer, then they will subscribe to updates on your subscription form. Okay, let's say you have 3 emails configured and then you keep sending them updates every week. Okay, the 3 emails will explain to them more about what you do and maybe give them some value, and then every week they will get knowledge updates. So their inbox is going to get updates from you. They found you on LinkedIn once, so they'll add you on LinkedIn if they saw it. Okay, if they found you through LinkedIn, they'll add you there. So now what is happening is that they are seeing you on more and more places. If you're posting on LinkedIn, then they'll again keep seeing your posts. They'll receive your emails through their email. If they added you on Instagram, or if you're active there, then they will see your content there as well. Which means that for them, they will know that okay, so and so Abhishek is a technology lawyer, or Zinnia is a independent lawyer providing corporate law and technology law services for clients. This is how you stay on top of the mind of your readers. And so when they have a legal issue, the first person to call will be you. But if you stop after writing 2 articles, that you will never allow that traction to build up. Okay. So you have to ensure that you're regularly writing content, sharing it on your website and social media. Okay. Now, one more thing. They will remember you. How does this help? They will remember you. They will also respect your price code because you are showing higher value and more credibility. You've been at your work for a long time. Compare this to somebody whom a client approaches from nowhere, like the first time, and they're like, okay, but what is this quote for? Give me a quote. I want all corporate work done for my company. And the lawyer gives a big quote, but the client has no background about that person. Okay, so this manner of acquiring a client, one, it is not heavily focused on one client alone. It is focused on your own brand building, so you can benefit by reaching out to many more people. So it's like it is a uniform way which you can use for many clients to get them into your funnel. We call it getting them into your funnel. Okay, and then they will be able to trust your credibility, trust you more, and you can say that okay, how I provide value, and it will be backed by the kind of information they have been receiving from you. So you will find that they are negotiating lesser, trusting your pricing more. Okay, all of that. Now the thing is that writing such kind of content is very different from drafting a contract, preparing a petition. Okay, because this is not going to court, this is not going to a client as service. This is basically going to educate them and sensitize them about their issues. It can't be very technical also. And it has to have a useful insight which is simple enough for a client to digest. Okay, so you've got to be very clear about it, and then you've got to communicate it very clearly. Okay, so yeah, so now what is the frequency at which you should write articles? Try at least once a week. Worst case, once a fortnight, but once a week is really good. If you can write one in 2 or 3 days, even better. Okay, in the initial phase, definitely write way more. And later on, you can start to train your juniors and automate some part of this work so that you have to review and edit a few things. And then at least some portion of the article writing and publishing work is set. But you will have to choose the topics. You will have to identify what is the angle you will take. It's like being the director of a movie or the editor of a newspaper. You will have to figure out the tone, the storyline. Those things will always be with you. Okay. And once in 3 months, I would suggest that you should think of coming up with exclusive content, such as, let's say, think of a target audience, think about their pain points, like startup founders who've raised their first round, but they're struggling to raise the second round of investment. Let's say lockdown hit, and what happened is that the valuation of that kind of startup fell. Okay, and they're struggling to negotiate with VCs for a higher valuation. What are the things that they should show to demonstrate that there is a upward swing in their traction? Okay, or you have to write about the challenges they're facing, or how can they get funds if they are facing a cash flow issue. What are the legal stuff they will need when they are what are the legal services they will need in generating funds? Maybe they need to get an overdraft, maybe they need to get a commercial loan, maybe they need to just if they are a product or service startup, maybe they need to just tie up with a fintech company or an NBFC to provide loans for easy EMI options for customers. Okay, there could be various ways like that, and if they're doing that, then they're going to be needing ABCD legal services. Okay, and irrespective of the services, these are the terms they should watch out for. What is the interest they are paying? What are the key terms that they need to watch out for commercially? Okay, so that's how you have to think of it. Another way, if you're a job seeker, okay, another way to do it, this is, and you want to, let's say, build a practice in technology laws. So you can interview associates in the technology laws practice of multiple law firms and identify, okay, categories of work that they will perform. So initially you will not know with categories. I know some categories, so I can say, but you may not know, and over time you will be able to categorize the work. But the work could be, for example, terms and conditions related work or policy related work, technology contracts, data protection related work, intermediary takedown notice related work. Okay, you can categorize it in various sets. Payment and fintech related work. Okay, and now if you've interviewed 50 senior associates on this kind of work, imagine the kind of traction that you'd have got. You will come to know everybody, you will have deep relationships, you'd have a good amount of learning on that area, and people will be free to talk to you because you're not asking them for a favor of an internship or a job. So it's a harmless conversation, it's a low cost conversation for the other person who just has to give you some time. Okay, and the market will know you. When you publish these results, you will become famous, and the market will, other people, other recruiters, other law firms will know that you've done this kind of valuable research, and they will really value it. Okay, now so how does this, let's see how this specifically works. Okay, so if you've done this for and after 2-3 months you need to look for an internship, you can reach out to one or more of these seniors in the law firms who've read your report or who you've interviewed. Okay, then when you are sending applications, you will cite that this is my publication, this is what I did. Okay, there are high chances that people already went through it before you sent it to them. Okay, so that is how it creates an additional leverage for you. Now make sure that the topics, so most of the times, why does article writing fail for people? One is they don't have writing skills, they don't know what to write on, so they can't get started. Secondly, if they get started, their topics are completely divorced from the target audience that they want. If you want technology clients, you will want to write on the issues that they are facing versus writing about just something remote, some case law, something arbitrary. Okay, if you want to, you have to focus on the problems and the pain points they have. Okay, and that's when this will all add up. Otherwise it will become an exercise in futility. So you can write about developments on privacy, data protection, fintech, technology contracts, other areas. Now how do you do this? Okay, so now the question that comes up is that, can I write about an area which I have not worked on before? Definitely. It doesn't matter whether you worked on it before or not. A credibility building exercise is one where you can write about the areas you've not worked on, but you can't write wrong content, can't write nonsense, right? You can't be bluffing about what you're writing. So you need to know what you're writing. That's when credibility stands out, for which you may need to learn additional skills which are available in the market. You can look at skills that you need to identify and learn, but after learning also you have to write to the point. Okay, now what happens is that you will, over time, as you acquire these skill sets and talk to clients who've written to you, you will pick up the skill of identifying new services which are not a standard service. Like, what are standard services that give me an opinion on this, help me draft this contract, help me draft this notice, or help me draft this petition. Outside of this, today there are clients who need lawyers to review a process. In the media and entertainment industry, lawyers review every script of every episode of a TV show to identify what the legal risk could be. Is there going to be a defamation suit? Can the High Court block the release or stop the release? All of that. Because the production house is investing in the creation of content. And if the content is created and produced, and after that there's a legal issue in release because there's defamatory content or there's some other issue, there's a loss. So lawyers review those scripts. That's productive work. Lawyers review in the technology industry. Lawyers review how business processes function. They may review different kinds of workflows of software, how data travels through different software which is made by the company or through third-party software. All of that. Okay, so there are different kinds of work that are there. There may be process improvements.